Let's now discuss illustrative problem 10-1. So at this point, you can pause the video to read the problem silently. So merong given data for current corporation dito. And then we are asked to prepare statements, income statements, using variable costing and absorption costing. So let's start. So let us compute for the production cost under absorption costing. So ito yung ating computation per month. So ang fixed factory cost natin is 8,000 pesos. So i-divide natin by the production volume, which is 1,000 per month, Both months yan. So 8 pesos yung fixed cost per unit. Tapos yung ibang cost naman is given. So the total production cost per unit is 26 pesos. So let us now compute for the cost of goods sold under absorption costing. So yung beginning inventory natin ng January is wala, and then cost of goods manufactured for both months is 26,000. So ang ating solution is 1,000 units produced times 26 pesos. So ang cost of goods available for sale for January is 26,000. Tapos may naiwan yatang ending inventory na 100 units for January. So ang cost nun is 100 units times 26, so 2,600. So 26,000 less 2,600, our cost of goods sold for January is 23,400. For February, yung ending inventory ng January will become the beginning inventory ng February. So 2,600 plus production na 26,000. So that will give you cost of goods available for sale of 28,600. Tapos walang ending inventory, so 0. Kaya ang cost of goods sold is 28,600. So let us now have the income statement for the 2 months using absorption costing. So yung sales ay 45,000 and 55,000 for the months of January and February. So ang solution natin dyan is sales volume times 50 pesos. So yung cost of goods sold natin from the previous slide. And then, of course, you deduct sales minus cost of goods sold is gross margin. And then, fixed expenses, given yan na 12,000. Yun, given siya sa book. Yung variable expenses natin is sales volume times 2 pesos. Okay? So, you have 1,800 and 2,200 for February and January respectively. So, ayan na po yung ating net income. Under variable costing, ito po yung ating income statement. So, diniretso ko na siya. So, yung sales volume naman is walang problema, yung amount ng sales. So, pareho lang naman siya for both months. So, yung solution, ganun din, kagaya ng sa absorption costing. So, yung meron tayong variable cost of goods sold, kasi nga, ang pattern natin dito, under variable costing is sales, less variable costs, less fixed costs. So, inuna natin yung variable cost of goods sold, yung una nating kinumpute. So, that's 18 pesos times 900 for January, kasi 900 units yung nabenta, times 18 pesos, kasi 18 pesos lang po yung gamitin nating production cost per unit under this method, yung 10, 5, and 3 na variable cost. So, that's 18 pesos. So, times 900 for January and times 1,100 for February. Okay? So, doon natin nakuha yung 16,200 at 19,800. So, i-deduct mo po yan sa sales, you'll have the manufacturing margin. And then, yung variable expenses naman natin ay given sa book na 2 pesos per unit. So, you multiply that by the sales volume. So, 2,000 or 2 pesos times 900 is 1,800 para yan sa January. And 2 pesos times 1,100 ay 2,200 para sa February. So, you deduct that from the manufacturing margin. You'll have the contribution margin. And then, i-deduct mo yung fixed factory costs and fixed expenses na given naman. So, you'll have the net income. So, ayan po. Pakitingnan nyo po bago tayo mag-switch sa next slide. So, we are also asked to reconcile the net income under absorption costing with the net income under variable costing. So, ito po siya. So, for January, you add the fixed cost at from the net income under absorption costing, you add the fixed cost in beginning inventory. Wala nga, kasi wala tayong inventory. Less the fixed cost in ending inventory, which is 800. So, you'll arrive at the net income under variable costing at 7,000. And then, for February, yung net income under absorption costing, the 12,200, plus fixed cost in beginning inventory, 800, less fixed cost in ending inventory na 0, kasi wala tayong ending inventory ng February. Yes. So, ang net income under variable costing ng February is 13,000, which is consistent dun sa previous slide natin. Ito po yung previous slide natin. 7, 13, ito naman yung next slide natin. Ayan. Okay, so yung fixed cost natin in ending inventory, by the way, no, ay hindi nga pala yan given. So, ang ating solution dyan is 8 pesos na fixed cost per unit. Kinumpute natin siya kanina sa isang slide. Times 100 units in the inventory. So, 800 pesos. Let's have illustrative problem 10-2. So, again, you can pause the video at this point para basahin yung illustrative problem 10-2 doon sa ating book. So, under illustrative problem 10-2, we are asked to compute for the value assigned in finished goods inventory under the two methods. So, inuna ko dito yung pag-compute sa fixed manufacturing cost per unit. No? So, ang fixed manufacturing overhead, given siya, 300,000. Divided by the number of units produced, 150,000. So, ang fixed manufacturing cost per unit ay 2 pesos. Ang variable manufacturing cost per unit naman natin is computed as follows. Yung direct materials, direct labor, at variable overhead na given sa book. So, yung 335, 500 plus 365, i-total natin yan. And then, divide it by the 150,000 production volume. So, ang ating variable cost per unit is 8 pesos. So, under variable costing, ang gagamitin lang natin ay yung 8 pesos variable cost times 15,000 na units under or 15,000 units in the inventory. So, ang ating ending inventory under variable costing is 120,000. For absorption costing, ang gagamitin natin ay 10 pesos. So, isasama natin yung 2 pesos na fixed cost per unit. So, times 15,000, you'll have 150,000 pesos worth of ending inventory under absorption costing. By the way, yung 15,000 dyan is galing sa production na 150 less na bentang 135. So, ang ending inventory mo is 15,000. So, before we proceed to illustrative problem 10-3, so, pakitingnan mo nang mabuti yung aking solution dito na para ma-absorb nyo. Illustrative problem 10-3, you can again pause the video here para basahin yung illustrative problem sa book. So, dun sa book, merong given na income statement for Luzon Industries. I think this is prepared using absorption costing. So, ang requirement sa atin is to recast, no, yung statement, yung income statement na given, but this time we'll be using variable costing. So, ito po yung solution ko dito, no? So, yung unit sold kasi natin is 88,000 given siya. So, ang kailangan nating malaman ngayon ay ilan yung units na na-produce. So, we deduct the units in beginning inventory, which is 40,000, and then we add the units in ending inventory, which is 30,000. So, ang ating units produced is 78,000. Ito namang 78,000 units produced ay gagamitin natin para makompute yung standard factory cost per unit. So, ayon kasi dun sa income statement sa book, 546,000 yung current production cost. So, we put it as the numerator divided by the units produced, 78,000. Kaya ang standard factory cost per unit natin is 7 pesos. So, ang kailangan natin ngayong malaman is magkano dito sa 7 pesos yung fixed component at magkano yung variable component. So, ang clue natin dito is meron kasi tayong idle capacity variance na how much? 130,000. No? So, yun yung gagamitin natin. No? Sa paghati nitong 7 pesos. So, yung maximum capacity natin is 78,000 units divided by 0.75. Kasi ang sabi dun sa problem, ang ginamit lang ng company during this specific period ay 75% ng capacity. Meaning, yung 78,000 units na na-produce ay 75% lang nung total na kayang i-produce. So, we divide it, no? 78,000 by 0.75. Kaya ang maximum capacity natin is 104,000 units. Itong maximum capacity na to ang naging basehan ng pagbabudget ng production cost, especially yung fixed cost. So, ito yung gagamitin natin ngayon, itong 104,000 to compute for the fixed cost component ng 7 pesos. So, ang idle capacity natin, 104,000 na maximum, less yung 78 na gamit. So, 26,000 units yung idle capacity natin. So, dito ngayon, sa 26,000 units, nakarelate yung idle capacity variance na given na 130,000. So, we divide it para makuha yung fixed factory cost per unit. So, 130,000 divided by 26,000 na idle capacity. So, 5 pesos ang fixed factory cost per unit. It follows na ang variable factory cost per unit is 2 pesos. So, pakitingnan nyo po muna yung solution na to. By the way, parang hindi tayo umabot sa standard costing last sem. So, i-discuss ko yung idle capacity. No? So, ano yung idle capacity? Ito yung capacity ng factory na hindi nagamit. No? So, hindi na maximize. Kaya, kapag ang maximum, kagaya dito sa ating problem, yung maximum capacity is 104. Pero 78 lang ang nagamit. Meaning, meron kang 26,000 units na capacity na hindi mo nagamit. Kasi 78 nga lang na-produce mo. So, pag meron kang hindi na po-produce, meron kang hindi nagagamit na capacity, we call that idle capacity and that's unfavorable kapag hindi mo siya nagagamit. Kaya doon natin nirelate sa 26,000 yung 130,000 capacity variance na given. Kaya nalaman natin na 5 pesos ang fixed factory cost per unit. And then, magkasunod na siya. Kung 7 pesos yung production cost mo, less 5 pesos fixed, it follows 2 pesos yung variable. So, pwede na siguro tayong mag-recast. No? So, sales, the same lang at 1,056,000 as given. Variable cost of goods sold, 88,000 na nabenta times yung variable cost per unit na 2 pesos na compute natin kanina dun sa previous slide. So, 176,000 yung variable cost of goods sold. So, that will give you a contribution margin of 880,000. But contribution margin na agad sa halip na manufacturing margin kasi wala akong nakita dito sa problem na variable expenses. Wala siya eh. So, ibig sabihin, yung sales less variable cost of goods sold will give you the manufacturing margin of 880, which in this case is also the same as the contribution margin kasi nga wala tayong variable operating expense. So from the contribution margin, you deduct the applied fixed factory cost. So 78,000 units na na-produce. Yes, na-produce, no? 78,000 units times 5 pesos na fixed factory overhead na na-compute natin kanina sa previous slide. So that's 390,000 applied fixed factory cost. So ibig sabihin, yung net income natin at standard cost is 490,000. So kailangan pa natin siyang i-adjust for the idle capacity variance na unfavorable. So i-deduct natin doon sa net income wait, nasan ba tayo? So we are computing here for the net income at actual. So, nandun na tayo sa net income at standard, 490. Meron kang idle capacity variance na unfavorable, so 130,000. Kaya ang net income at actual ay 360. Kasi i-deduct mo yung 130 na unfavorable capacity variance dun sa net income at standard to arrive at the actual net income na 360,000. So, ito na po yung ating recasted na income statement for illustrative problem 10-3.